to B10.News, where we discuss whatever at whenever o'clock, always live. My name is Ashley Radcliffe, and I am your brand new B10.News host. Unfortunately, our previous host, Teresa Harvard, has been discharged from the company due to disorderly conduct. We thank her for the countless hours for our delightful live viewers, but now they are no longer important. I look forward to my future here. Today, I am joined by 4 spectacular guests, and we currently have one of them. The rest of them are in the lounge, but we're so excited to have all of them here today. Now, without any further chatter, we currently have a serious PSA prepared. Plastic. One of the most popular materials used for most of anything we can think of. Plastic creates the cups for our local drinks, the toys for the begging children, and even as bags for groceries. However, as humans, we can create something fantastic and then turn to the wrong corner. We've relied on them so heavily that the oceans we swim in and the land that we crawl consists of piles and piles of disgusting plastic. We hold many questions from our actions. What decisions stimulate the problem? How much damage is there? What can I do to help? You want live answers? Stay tuned, please. Alright, live viewers, our first guest for today is sitting on our brand new chair. It looks very comfy. Hopefully I can talk into getting one for myself. Wink. Would you please explain to our live viewers who you are looking at the camera?
That's why I'm here, Rad. Good day, y'all. My name is Dr. Elise Lafayette, and I have been closely observing and studying the causes and effects of plastic usage for most of my career.
Wow, that is dedication. Welcome to the PSA. Our first topic on this PSA has to do with the general use of plastic. What does it offer, and what do we gain from using plastic?
Well, one of the most recognizable benefits of plastic is that it is incredibly durable, and it can last for a long time. This can create items that can sustain for a long period of time, which can be applied in structures, from the smallest house to the greatest bridge, so they can stand without any trouble. Aside from the houses and apartments we live in, they're also a great source for technological evolution. Some of the devices applied to automobiles, phones, and electronic kitchen appliances, like say a microwave, are made of affordable and efficient plastics, which improve the quality and performance of those appliances. Plastic is also essential for safety. Plastics used within designs of appliances, like I mentioned before, and as well as safety gear used in sports, including helmets, padding, and goggles that are meant to be light enough to carry and mold on to the user, but strong enough to avoid any injury or shock. Final use of plastic is most commonly for packaging. It preserves foods so they can remain fresh for a longer time and can reduce weight upon transporting packages, which reduces greenhouse gas emissions from the trucks that carry them.
Plastic is pretty amazing. Now, our live viewers have heard all the shiny and attractive glitter words of plastic. Let's see what's under the dirt. What are the consequences of plastic usage that we need to address? Do they apply any damage to any other organisms?
It's no mystery plastic is overused by us humans. Remember when I mentioned that plastic was durable? Well, that's exactly the issue of plastic's impact on Earth. Plastics can last for a few hundred years to 1,000 years before they can finally start to decompose or become really small. Since we are dumping all this harsh plastic into the ocean and valuable land needs life and health, this can inflict incredibly dangerous conflicts upon organisms living nearby, as you had asked earlier. This includes animals becoming trapped in plastic and the unfortunate misconception that plastic is food to animals, which has already caused the endangerment of many sea creatures such as the sea turtle. Toxic materials that are being used to create and recycle plastic are released, and pollutants become attracted to the plastic, impacting the environment even more and causing animals from birds to fish to whales to humans to become sick. The chemicals within these processes can also cause damage to the reactions used to maintain homeostasis within humans. An example of this is phthalates. Phthalates are chemicals that contain compounds created by humans that work to prevent destruction of plastics. However, They can be absorbed, inhaled, and ingested from plastic, which can result in the imbalance in reproductive hormone levels, resulting in conditions such as low testosterone in the male sex and premature puberty in the female sex and genital defects. The final issue with plastic, and I'm sure most of us have heard it before, is that plastic is a very bad choking hazard. A large range of toys marketed to kids can be easily broken or incredibly small to begin with, and have been the result of them being consumed by confused little kids, which can result in serious respiratory issues. My old mama used to call them cheap plastic crap, and I would play with wooden toys instead. Other choking hazards include plastic bags for groceries or trash, since they can cause suffocation to any kids unaware of its potential.
You hear that, live viewers? Plastic is deadly, chemically and physically. This is all incredibly upsetting. Those poor children, all those precious animals. What a shame that we humans have become too comfortable with the benefits of plastic. We had no time to catch an eye on what we were doing to the world. That is all for you, Dr. Lafayette. Thank you for your time. You may dismiss yourself to the lounge.
Thank you for having me. This is very important. See y'all, live viewers.
See you around. Keep saving the world scientifically. Now, our second guest is a scientist, yes, but more of a specified scientist. Would you please look at the camera and tell our live viewers your place at B10.News? Hello there, everybody watching this PSA broadcast. I go by Dr. Chelsea Hill. I'm a scientist of the Earth's ecological value, where I evaluate the Earth and locate the source of nature's circumstances. That's an interesting occupation. We anticipate for your word today. Our topic that we would like for you to discuss is on affection. Where is plastic usage being affected the most? How much plastic goes to waste? And how much is recycled? What's the Earth's state on plastic usage now? Tell our live viewers what we need to know from there, please. In general, plastic usage is present all around the world. However, where waste is littered and managed efficiently differs from country to country. Therefore, I do have a few graphs to present to you today. I'll wait patiently for the first one to appear on the screen. Thank you. Here, you see the amount of plastic generated per country from 2010. Upon observation, countries that are high in income, such as the United States, China, and Germany, tend to generate the most amount of plastic, with China producing over 59 million tons, the United States producing over 37 million tons, and Germany producing over 14 million tons of plastic. May we please have the next graph? Thank you again. This is a comparison of how much of the world's waste is mismanaged, or disposed into dumps and open landfills, which can enter into oceans through groundwater, rivers, and winds. Obviously, China obtains most of the share with 27.7%, and Indonesia falling behind with 10.1%. Surprisingly, countries like the United States and Germany have impressive control over their plastic waste. All of this data is a portrayal of 2025's condition. However, this does not mean the oceans are completely clean of plastic or are safe from it. Next graph, please. Thank you once more. This graph from 2014 tells us many things about plastic being present in the ocean. Upon first glance, we see that the majority of plastic is dumped into the North Pacific Ocean, including Canadian coasts and the coasts along Washington, Oregon, and California. We also know that the majority of oceans' plastic mass consists of microplastic, or rather large plastic particles, which amount to over 200,000 tons of plastic, which is enough to fill about 33 football fields every day for a year. However, microplastics take up the majority of the surface ocean plastic if we estimate via the amount of particles in the ocean. In this case, about 5 trillion particles of microplastics are in the ocean, with the North Pacific Oceans being the top. Now, may we see our final graph? I thank you one more time. This final graph represents the plastic wasted from 2015, all divided into industrial sectors. Out of the 407 million tons of plastic that was produced that year, 302 million tons of plastic turned out to be wasted into oceans or landfills. Undeniably, the majority of that waste was from packaging, so plastic bottles, bags, containers, and jugs take up most of 2015's as plastic waste. Next up is textiles, which include any waterproof raincoats and other clothing with the same fabric. The list goes on. Here, however, we can see where the problems become most abundant. The shame about plastic waste is the ongoing myth that plastic can be recycled if we make the right choices. Notice how your plastic container for yogurt, or this empty plastic bottle I obtained after getting my second COVID vaccination, they all contain the recycling logo, which of course means you can recycle it. However, the bitter truth is that most plastics are sent out to be recycled actually end up being transferred to landfills instead. The reasoning to that is that recycling plastic is expensive, and it degrades for every recycling procedure, so it has limited use. However, making new plastic is cheaper and has better quality. So despite the fact that marketing for plastic usually includes the desperate message to recycle any plastic materials, less than 10% of all plastic has been recycled. And is faced with a lie that needs to be addressed. The plastic being created more than reused is an enormous problem that companies need to start fixing, instead of creating commercials and projects talking about how plastics are precious and useful without actually motivating themselves to do anything about it and lying to the public. Like with how Dr. Lafayette says, a disgustingly large amount of glitter words. That was a novel's worth of information. Thank you so much. Now, live viewers, would you like to go outside one day and find plastic in your gorgeous river? And it lasts for more than a month since nobody cleans it up? No? Well, it happens every day. Even the famous Claire Jennings herself has seen that. More than once. That is enough for you, Dr. Hill. You may proceed to dismiss yourself. And speaking of fixing problems, this is where our next two guests come in. However, let's start with this wonderful one over here. State your name to the live viewers and explain as to why you are here today.
Sure thing, Ashley. Hi, hey, everybody. My name is Sydney Franklin. I have been wisely and safely avoiding using plastic in my everyday life for a while now, and I am here to help get y'all started.
Congratulations, Sydney. It's exciting to have you sit here today. Since you have experience with becoming involved, are you aware of any organizations that are stepping up against plastic usage? And is there any way we could become involved with those organizations?
The fantastic news is that some huge companies are actively committing to fixing and contributing to the elimination of plastic pollution. One example is Adidas, who practice developing shoes out of plastic bottles and avoiding using plastic bags in their stores. Another example is Method, who now contain safer ingredients in their cleaning products and are now made from recycled plastic waste from the ocean. This is fantastic, and brands that now attempt to avoid plastic pollution should become a consideration for consumers worldwide. Of course, I can't forget to mention those official organizations that have been founded to encourage a healthier sea free from plastic. Plastic Oceans Foundation, establishes programs that either spread awareness, encourage policy changes in businesses, and research the effects of this pollution so that everyone can have a chance to make the world better. The Last Plastic Straw movement encourages the avoidance of plastic straws from businesses that would normally provide them in every drink. The Plastic Pollution Coalition, or whatever it's pronounced, provides resources about pollution, how to adapt to a plastic-free world, and to speak up against plastic usage. There are many organizations to help us out there. Many of these organizations even allow the youth to participate. They can take their own pledge, and a few organizations offer them, so that's good. They can offer to participate in cleanup programs or organize an event to spread awareness of plastic pollution. It's also highly recommended that you sign petitions and offer a campaign event to your school so that you can become active in fixing the planet.
Amazing! You may now leave, and thank you for participating.
Oh,
So,
okay.
live viewers, if you want to get involved, consider joining these organizations or getting involved. If you recognize some of these, congratulations! Now, what if you prefer to start small? How you're not exactly ready, but you want to start considering your involvement in stopping plastic pollution? Well, this is where our final guest for today's PSA comes in. Now, for the last time, look at our live viewers and do a nice introduction.
Okay, so hi, I'm Cecilia Fordham. I know plastic is bad and all, but I still use it. I don't wanna though. I'm ready to get started on stopping. No more plastic! No more plastic!
Okay, hon, calm down. Don't want another ruckus like Harvard, don't we? Now, seeing as you are brand new, which is awesome, do you know what could be executed in the future or what others could do? And do you have any advice for anyone on how to get started? Look at the live viewers, please.
Kinda. I will definitely try what the last girl said. I already forgot her name. It's so crazy. Anyway, so something I know we need to do in the future is start choosing better materials for stuff. Like, we don't use plastic straws for Starbucks. Instead, we buy a metal straw, and whenever they ask, we say no. Or we learn and get an education on avoiding the pollution thing going on, and we need to find out how we can recycle something the best way, or find another way of throwing something away, but not like a bin outside, a drop-off location so they can be sorted and reused again. We could also
Speak a little more quickly, hon.
sorry. So my son, who's at soccer practice right now, actually came up to me with some ideas. He suggested we encourage companies to start thinking about being careful with plastic usage, or tell them to start thinking of the environment and not money, so we don't have a wasteful future. He also said talking with neighbors about cleaning the neighborhood, or changing policies and such to make things better, for the community. Also, children should research on what's good and what's bad about plastic, so we could see the best and the worst version of plastic, so we can have the benefits and eliminate the cons, Also, keep track of plastics being used so they can see how much plastic is being used, and talk about it to adults like me, or make a pledge like the other person said, and of course do what the other person said. I wish I remembered your name.
Her name is Sydney Franklin, if you're curious. But anyway, my sweet, amazing live viewers, that results in the end of this PSA. Plastics may be practical, but they're pretty much poisonous. That's my motto, starting now. Live viewers, if you're serious about the environment's condition, please take into consideration your involvement with plastic, and consider a little change for the benefit and health on Earth. Now, you know why plastic usage is bad, how plastic pollution occurs, and what we can do to save the Earth. Take that information and run. Our 4 guests had to leave for today, but you can see them backstage saying goodbye just before they left. You can wave to them too. Okay, y'all. Thank you, live viewers, for watching this live PSA on B10.News, where we discuss whatever at whatever o'clock, always live. I'm your host, Ashley Radcliffe. Continue to wonder, wow, that's an old line. We took that away in 2014. Nothing wrong with bringing back a little old friend. Anyway, continue to wonder. Have a good day, everybody.